All right, welcome to the Remarketing Podcast. We have a special episode today. We have what I like to call our marketing implementation results episode. And this is an episode where we talk about client results, right? So today we have Kim Babb. We just did an awesome interview a little bit earlier, and she's going to tell us about our process working together and how we work together for her to create her journal. So you see on the screen, you see her like we're together. We were at a real estate event and she brought her journal. She had like a table and everything like that. And I just want to talk about her experience a little bit and how things came to be with her journal. Kim, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
You're
having me.
welcome. You're welcome. So we're going to do like a case study thing. I have some questions that I want to ask you, and then we can kind of go from there. With that, let's start off. I want you to. We already did like your intro and your bio. Can you think about? Do you remember how we met each other?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, I will go back to when we met or our encounter at the real estate forum where I had my first exhibit booth. And but I mean I just go further back. I think we met at Bragg. We met at Dan Harvey's booth.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did.
That's
We did meet at
correct,
Bragg. Okay.
right? And then fast forward, our most pivotal encounter was at the real estate forum where I had my exhibit booth and you were exhibiting. You actually helped me get into the room. And as that day progressed, you and I had some conversation, and I expressed my where I was in my journey of doing a book, and you really put me on the spot and said, "Let's get
Okay.
it done."
Yeah, I appreciate that. So the question, like we were talking about personalities and stuff in our like other um podcast interview like right before this one, and like I know that my personality, I can be like pushy and sometimes a little bit impatient, and I can put pressure on people, but it's not necessarily a negative thing, right? Like sometimes people, you need different personalities at different things, and different personalities are going to deliver different results. And that's one of the things like I'm like really adamant about. Is like, let's get some results. And the reason why I'm like pushy like that is because when I see somebody and they have like talents and they have gifts, I'm like, all right, you can't just keep this to yourself. You have to share this to other people. And that's kind of what I saw with you. And you were like, yeah, I'm working on this journal thing. And I was like, you got too much value to just keep it there. Like, we got to get it out to other people. So the question that I have, I'm going to ask it is like, since we've met and since we've been working together, what results have you gotten from working together? Like, tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the results that I've gotten is the publishing of two journals,
Uh-huh.
right? The rental property maintenance journal and the building wealth with rentals landlord journal, goals, inspiration, and
Okay.
accountability journal. I had done prior to us meeting this that last time. I had done a couple ebooks to complement some boot camps that I had done, but I had in my mind to create this journal collection. And so our encounter and your nudging and insistence on let's get it done helped me get across the finish line with publishing these two journals and becoming a Amazon published author.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I forgot, I got to get my copies. How can I get those from you?
You will get those soon, even if it's
Okay.
like a personal delivery. We will make that happen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I forgot to get them when we were. I know you got a couple. So, what kept you back from like getting them like published a little bit sooner? Like, take me through that experience.
And I had done some research. I had actually interviewed a couple of authors who had published before, and I think it's really when you don't know what you don't know about the process. So I was really just going through trying to understand the process of publishing. I I would say my significant training in a formal school is as an artist. I was an art major in high school. So I have all the graphic expertise and the page layout and all that kind of stuff. But it was like the golf and the gap for me was how do you take that content and formatting into the publishing, into the actual publishing. So I can certainly say that, our relationship and your knowledge of that took me across that finish line. The graphics, the layout was not a challenge for me. It was just understanding the publishing process.
Okay, thank you. And most, so in my experience, people like, and I always talk about like the personality thing because people, we have to absolutely understand our personalities. I know how I'm perceived. I know I can be like all that stuff, but it's just like important. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you had the artistic thing down, and I was like, oh, she's like done all of the work. She just need like this little part. And why am I bringing that up? You were like easy because you had like all of the graphic stuff done. Like most people, they don't even like it's like, oh, where do I, but you had all of it done. And I was like, yeah, you could go do this, you can go do that. And like we had a call, we had a session, and you showed me everything you had. And I was like, well, you can, like, since you did a bulk of the work, all you got to do is this stuff. And it was like, you just got done because you had already done, like you said, the layout, the graphic, you had already done all of that stuff. So it's just a matter of like, let's get, you know, through whatever confusion it was, and it was like off. And like I kept pushing you. I was like, when is it done? When is it going to be done? When is it going to be done? Like in a healthy way. And then it finally got done. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I was like, are you as excited as I am? And I kept pushing you, and it was, so yeah, you
And
had done like we talked about in the prior podcast, you had done the work. So like the coaching came in, it's like you already did it. You did your part, and that's what made it like, beneficial because you had already done your part. So
and what I'll add to that to underscore the value of coaching is that uh, that acceleration based on the coach's knowledge is critical and important. And I feel like that was the connector for me. Having had the content, there was still a void there for me. So, I want to believe that you know, uh, that you got a return on your investment in the coaching by seeing me implement all the steps and the resources that you presented to me, and then I implemented what it is that you showed me to do and got across the finish line. It was like I had my hand on the doorknob, when we met, and you just cracked it open and told me once you get through, make a left, a right, and two lefts, and I did that,
yes,
and got to the publishing platform.
yes. And now I'm trying to apply the same pressure to the other book. So tell me what exactly is I have it listed here. What exactly did you like most about working together?
The accountability
Okay.
and just the exposure. Your exposure determines your success, right? And exposing me to the different hacks and tips and resources. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question. Why would you recommend us to someone, or me, right, to someone that might be on the fence? What would you say?
Because he's firm, he's stern, and he's gonna hold you accountable. So be ready for 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 the play. Be ready for the play. Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
come just
And
come ready. Just come ready. Because
that's
he's
right.
gonna
Come
hold you
ready.
accountable.
That's right. I want them to know, like, come ready, but you're gonna be happy with the results as long as you do the work, right? So,
Yes.
what what was your main concern, or what would have prevented you from working together, and then what put that fear or concern to rest?
Hmm. Just in a broad sense, the main concern is always time, right? We only
Okay.
have 24 hours in a day, and how we use that time is going to determine, uh, you know, uh, meeting goals and objectives. So, even with this questioning of when is the book coming out, it's all about time, right?
It is.
But with the success that we've had so far with these two journals, for me it was time and making the time commitment to get it done.
Okay. Thank you. If you were to recommend us to your best friend, what would you say?
Just be ready for the work. Just be ready to
Okay.
put the work in, and be ready to put the work in. Be committed and come ready.
Okay. Why did you choose us? Right. When I say us, I mean me. It's only, you only work with me, like not the rest of our staff yet, but That's what I mean by us. What made you choose us, working with us over anything else you could have done?
So I think it was the energy that came with our encounter at the real
Okay.
estate conference. Like like you when you realized that I was, at the threshold with these journals and this idea and this concept, you were like very clear and firm. Okay, so when are we gonna get it done? Like you were
Yes.
very clear on let's get it done, bar none, straight no chaser, like. And I think that's really um, accelerated me and got my attention and got my attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
appreciate you because you handled me like really well, and you just received it like you weren't taking it as offensive or anything like that. You saying straight no chaser, but I didn't know that's how it was coming. I thought I was like being like super nice and super friendly and was like, yeah, let's do it. And you're like, nope. He was like this, and that's how I generally perceive myself. But I appreciate you sharing that feedback. So
yes,
tell me three benefits you have experienced as a result of working together.
definitely. Self reassurance that I can that I can succeed at compiling and pouring out my thoughts into a document and having it published, right? So self assurance and just knowing that I'm trainable, I'm teachable. I can follow directions and get things done and be held accountable.
Yeah, I like that.
Be held accountable.
I was going through like one of my, I told you I just joined like a coaching program, and I was going through one of my things, and he was like, what are you known for? And one of the things that I put there was like accountability. So it was like, you're like right on time, like saying that. I'm like, okay, I guess I am. So thank you. What were things like what was like, you already talked about it a little bit, but I'm gonna exit it again anyway. We could just pull it out or something like that. But tell us, tell me like what things were like before like I came, like it was like you're like I'm trying to get this journal done, but like what was like the stumbling, like what was the roadblock of getting it actually done?
I think it was really timing for me.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, time is such a, critical component of, our daily lives. And full disclosure, like I mentioned before, I had done an ebook uh, prior to us meeting, associated with the boot camp that I had done. And I had also been exposed to other book writing coaches prior to us meeting. But when we had our encounter, it was just like a different energy.
Okay.
And, in addition to you putting me on the spot, I think it was the right time and the right person to
Okay. You
do
know
it.
that ebook, is that yours, or like you own the copyright to it and everything?
It's mine. Yes.
Okay. What's the subject?
So actually it is a major component to the book, the
Okay.
screen that I'm about to publish. So I pulled a lot of that content into the book and I'm adding on
Okay.
to yeah.
Well, we've been through the process already. You know, it's already an ebook. You can just publish it. You know that, right?
So I mean, so when we talk about growth, right?
Uh-huh.
And we can look at where we started and
Uh-huh.
where we're
Oh,
going.
okay. Yeah, your
That's
blue. Your
very
blue
like
is your blue is going off. Yeah.
that's like
Okay.
kindergarten stuff compared to
Okay.
voila, you know.
Yeah, I
So
got you.
yeah, I'll be pulling the content, but just changing and
Okay.
stepping the game up.
So you can do it. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. I want to provide something better. Your blue is
Yeah,
going off.
that's like
Okay.
kindergarten, and I'm in high school right now.
Okay, got you. So I think this is the last question. Is it? No. So tell me about like your confidence of like this process now since we worked together. Like, what is that like?
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is powers, and knowledge, fuels confidence. So I'm much more confident now with knowing the process of publishing that the sky's the limit, really. It really is the limit, and it's going to allow me to just pour out consistently, over the next few years, and write more books.
Thank you. And so, what surprised you most, or made you the happiest about working together?
Well, what made me happiest the most is that I can do it. Like,
That's yeah,
I can do this, right?
yeah.
Uh, I think from a layperson's perspective around book publishing, and I mean, not to give any promotions, but I've been a Barnes and Noble card holder for many, 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 many years. I grew up living in the Free Library of Philadelphia on the Parkway, just just massaging the marble stairways and just fondling all the books in the library. So to have crossed over with your help, if you will, from someone who appreciates books to someone who has actually published a book is definitely an accomplishment that has made me feel a tremendous amount of pride in myself and gratitude for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And of all the things I've done, the book, like I've got courses, I've been coaching, I got like products worth hundreds of dollars, products worth thousands of dollars, and nothing compared to like getting that book done. Still, right? People are only gonna pay $20, $10, and sometimes they give it out for free, but it's still my biggest accomplishment yet. Like getting that first book done. Like nothing made me feel as good as getting that done. I was like, this is amazing. And that's why like I was picking on you a little bit. I was like, are you as happy as me? Am I like crazy or
I
something? Like this is
remember
a big
that.
deal. Yeah, like this is like that's been my best experience like creating like from like you talked about you earn, can you say it again, like earn and return.
Learn,
Huh?
earn, and return.
Yeah, my best accomplishments yet in returning is like that book. I'm like, oh my god, I can do this. And one of the things that I really appreciate about like marketing is like books last forever. They get donated. People rarely throw those things in the trash. And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like leaving my legacy of like my business legacy, right? But it's still a legacy. And then even further, I'm like, all right, you got the business stuff down, so now you can do the personal stuff. And that's like my next big thing is to like do a book for my children, right? I want to do a
Awesome.
book, and I want to leave pictures, and I'm going to leave like a autobiography. And I'm rambling a little bit, but to go like my ultimate is I'm going to do that. And like, why do people know about Jesus and Julius Caesar and some of these legends? Because of books. That's why they know about them. So it's like you immortalize using this strategy. So that's what I plan on doing. I plan out getting my autobiography out of my brain, and then I'm going to print all of these books, and I'm going to leave them in a house somewhere, 100 or 200 or whatever. I have many books. I might just buy a whole house and they just be full of Jerome Lewis bio. And then I'm going to die, and people are going to find that book and they're going to read it and write stories and movies about my story. So yeah. Thank you. That was the last question. Kim, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this. And you're going to stay on, and we're going to end our session here. All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.